Hey, what's up, everybody? So I've been asked to do this. A lot of people have been sending me messages and asking me about the airlift that I have installed on the Mustang. So I guess it's time to do that. So I want to do a pros and cons and my thoughts on the Airlift 3P management system, which I have installed here on the Mustang. So, and if you haven't seen everything that comes with the kit, click up here and I'm gonna link the unboxing video that has all the pieces for the airlift. So the airlift kit is pretty cool in my opinion, I guess, because you have a lot of options. I mean, you could do a lot of different things with it. It's got 32 separate dampenings, which allows you to go from full soft all the way to full hard. And I kind of like it where around 15, which is more on the softer side, but I drive the car every day, so I kind of want a little better ride quality, you know. So with the kit you get the so the 3P, you're gonna get the little handheld here. With the handheld you can adjust everything as far as like ride height. You can give it the settings, so it gives you 4 different settings, right? So you can go all the way high, you can do a higher preset, you can do regular ride height, you can do one lower preset, which I kind of keep it like a halfway, kind of like rolling into a show preset, and then you have completely air out. So here's the video of the completely air out from the front. And now here's the back. So now for my pros and my cons. Let's start off with the pros, because we all like the pros, right? So the pros, obviously, you can air out at the shows. Anywhere you go, you can air out. So here in Germany, we have a lot of little speed bumps here and there. And before, I used to scrape when I was static. I used to scrape my exhaust because it would hang a little too low. And now I don't scrape because I can just go to preset high and the car rises up to a higher preset than my factory stock ride. So that means that I will never scrape, which is awesome. Rolling up to a show, I can go ahead and air out. And also, when you get the 3P system, you get the Bluetooth capability. So you just download the app on your phone, put it on show mode, and then you can go up and down on your phone at the same time. The system is very smart because the system knows when your battery voltage is getting low, so your battery is not going to die if the compressor is kicking back on, because it will kick on if you're on show mode and your car's off. Another pro for me is ride quality. So I've driven on springs, I've driven on coils, and this time is the first time I daily drive on air ride system. And I'm going to tell you right now, initially you feel the difference, right off the bat. When my buddy Maurice and we worked on it, and a couple of guys, as soon as I drove away, I was like, wow, I can initially feel the difference. It's a little more cushiony, but you can adjust that. I kind of adjusted the dial a little bit to go a little bit on the hard side so I can even out that little squish that it had, but it still feels so good. So I got to give it to Airlift because they definitely did a good job on this. Another pro that I have on it is the fact that the whole kit came with everything you need to make it a complete kit. We did the install in approximately 8 hours, which normally an install of an airlift kit takes a longer time. So, but we were able to do it in about 8 hours in a garage, and it was actually, we had a good time.
Let's talk about the cons. Okay, because with every good thing, there are some things that are not so good. So for me, one of the cons, and this is specific to me because I have a Cortex Watts link and a Cortex torque arm. So my suspension on this car before with the Watts link and everything was not used to the car airing out so much. What I find is that I get some moans, creaks here and there. So I have to regularly go under the car, which I can air up all the way, which is awesome. I can go under the car without a jack or anything, and I can take a look at my suspension parts. And I noticed that I have to lubricate some of the bushings a little better and do kind of that so it can actually go all the way through, because as you can imagine, the car only went down so far. And now that it's going even lower for the first time, the suspension is trying to have to compensate for that, especially the torque arm. The torque arm is stretching itself within its limits, because that's what torque arms do. Or I'm sorry, Watts link. I get my stuff confused. So it stretches within its limit, but you have to stay on top of it so it can actually work itself all the way through, that every part of the circumference of the Watts link is being lubricated.
Now we're going to go into how I set up the trunk. So as of right now, I got the compressor just sitting right there, and the tank itself, it's just up there with the management. So we have the management system that's sitting up there. We have the tank up there. You want to keep the management higher than the tank, only because you're going to start building condensation. That's where the water spouts out, and I have it going underneath the car. So as far as this guy is, I got him there right now only because I'm gonna eventually add another one here. So it kind of gives it the clean look, and as you can see, I kind of have all my trunk space. So no problems there, right? Okay, so my next con would be with the way these lines get run sometimes. I've had to adjust the right rear line like 10 times already because I always get a leak. And it's a slow leak, so it's nothing that I'm too concerned about or anything crazy like that. I mean, we're talking about overnight with the temperature changes, I lose maybe 10 PSI from the right rear bag. To some, that's not a big deal. Of course, we have to compensate for weather, and when it's colder, you know, you're gonna lose air, and when it's warmer, you're gonna gain air and everything like that. It's just like the physics and stuff like that. But I notice that I'm always losing on just that one. So I have to take the line out, I have to air out the whole tank, check the line, make sure it's inputted the right way because they kind of lock under pressure, which is good. Just to make sure. And you know, you use the soapy water, and actually I have the soap water here that I always use, so I always have it on standby. I use that to always check the line. And you know, it's just one of those things, you know, you have to stay on top of it because you'll get an air leak here and there and you won't even know where it's from. You have to use the soapy water. You'll find it eventually, then you have to trim the line just a little bit so it can be perfectly flush with the management. And that's what you got to do. So that's kind of one of my, I guess, pet peeves or a con or something like that. This tool right here is what adjusts the dampening on the rears. So all you have to do is pull back your fabric, put it in, and then turn it. Simple as that. So on the front here, you have the piece that you can add here, and you can adjust it. I have it set to about 15 out of 32, so it's pretty on the soft side, or it's okay. And then you have your plate to adjust the camber. So it's the same on both sides. So I got the car on now, and I'll tell you what, the tank is kind of loud. I gotta do something about that because after a while it's probably gonna just get on my nerves even more, so that's why I need to second tank so it can fill up twice as fast. Okay, so I have the handheld remote here in show mode, as you can see right here. Show mode is going to allow me to operate the unit without the car being on. So the key is completely out and it is still on. So right now my tank is holding 148 PSI, which the standard is 149, but it can deviate between 1 or 2, it's no big deal. I've seen it up to 150 and down to 147 without it kicking on. So right now I'm set at normal ride height, which is the center button. If you click it once, you can see what your normal ride height is. This is my high preset. So 62, 62. I kind of ride to work and around in that preset. This one here is my sort of aired out, but not totally aired out. So 5's in the front, 28's in the rears. I have 305 tires in the back, and it's kind of wide, 20 by 10.5. And they kind of, if I air out completely, which is this last one, it will rest, the tires and the fenders will touch, which looks cool, but I kind of don't want it to stay like that for a long time, so I normally do that. And that's that. So another thing that's pretty cool is what we did is we routed the exhaust line or the output air line outside of the car, so it's loud. Just so you can hear how it sounds, I have the door open, car is off, and we're gonna go to the low setting here. That setting. Here we go. Car is adjusting. Let's take a look how it looks. Front tucked. Rears, not so much. But see, my garage ground here is not level. So let's take a look at the other side. All the way in there. So it's pretty cool. So even with the car off and no key in it, I'm gonna go back up to normal ride height, which is here. So of course this is my take on the airlift system. Everyone has their own opinion on it. I like it. It gives me the flexibility of actually using it for a daily driving. Even when I have to get on a ramp or I have to get on a lift, I can raise the car up higher than stock, which allows me to get under easier, better, faster than I would have if I was static. Of course, it also allows me to slam the car, which is awesome. Everybody loves to slam cars, especially when you hear the air out at car shows. So that's awesome. So I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. I hope this answered a couple of your guys' questions. If you have any more questions that you want to ask regarding the airlift system or anything to do with my car, please go ahead and just comment below. Let me know. I'll get back to you. I'll reply back. So make sure you subscribe, like, and hit that bell notification so you can get more information on anything that's happening on the channel. So until next time, guys, tschüss. Brother, it's caught in the crossfire. It's caught in the crossfire. It's caught in the crossfire.